Good day, folks. Thanks kindly for joining. If you noticed, I'm looking a little different today. I just needed a little bit of a breather, and I'm excited. I have a job interview tomorrow, so fingers crossed, mudra. Um, and I'm sort of in a distracted state from studying that, and I can't think of a better thing to do in a time like that than to take a break and sit with y'all. So, thanks for that opportunity. Thanks for joining me. I wanted to speak for a minute about mindfulness. It seems like a good time to redefine that after we've been sitting with our thoughts for a while. The last two sittings, if you sat with me. And I would make the designation that we were sitting with the occurrence of our thoughts, with the form of our thoughts, rather than with the contents of our thoughts. Would be a good metaphor. We were, if thoughts were cars, we were checking out the kind of car, the color of the car, the way the car was driving and its speed, rather than who was in the car. Of course, who's in the car, on some level, matters more if you're that person in the car, if you're expecting to meet someone. But mindfulness, coming back to that, is and this definition has a secular foundation and is also very much, contained within the Buddhist tradition as well. There's really no variation between the two, which I personally really appreciate. And that is mindfulness, again, sort of with a capital M, is the being deeply aware and in touch with everything that is going on in any particular moment, in the present moment, within your range of sensation. And too often for me, and I suspect for others, that the experience of the present moment is mostly overwhelmed or containing the contents of my thoughts. And that is certainly a part of the present moment and shouldn't be ignored. But it's easy to fall into the trap of believing that that's all that's there. And meditation allows us to experiment and practice with exploring what else is there. Too often, my thoughts can be, I don't want to say crazy, but let's say dramatic. With my past and my upbringing, fall into black and white and logic a lot, and that striving to define things and to separate things really denies the beautiful spectrum of everything in the world. So for me to live in the contents of my thoughts is sadly a really fairly structured or maybe even oppressive place where chaos and variety and nuance are kind of shunned. Opening up to whatever else can be there, whatever else is there, can provide me with great relief, and I hope the same can go for you. So, spiel aside, all of that said, let's come into what is real for us in the world of our sitting and in our bodies. Closing the eyes if you're comfortable with that, or allowing them to just soften and unfocus and seek to passively absorb light information rather than seeking out shapes and objects, seeking to identify structures around us in our immediate environment, much like the contents of our thoughts, the thoughts we have about the objects around us. To our eyes, it's just information, until our consciousness chooses to overlay concepts, bringing our awareness to our grounding, to our occurrence of sitting in this moment. Feeling the sensation of weight, pressure, feeling the attraction of our mass to that of the earth in the form of gravity, feeling the pressure of holding of the sitting bones, feet, either flat on the floor if we're in a chair, or our calves and thighs and shins if we're sitting cross-legged or kneeling in some fashion. Feeling the weight of our hands in our lap, feeling the pressure of our lap holding our hands, feeling the pressure of whatever is holding our hands, if they're on a table or the arms of a chair. If we choose to put our hands into a mudra, conscious position, feeling the pressure of our thumbs and our fingers together, feeling the weight of our clothing on our bodies. Now bringing our awareness up to our pelvis, taking a moment to shift it in any part of our body that maybe feels a little bit uncomfortable in this moment. Striving for this time, this period, to find balance front to back and left to right. Seeking stillness and stability. Seeking a flat back. Seeking a natural curve to the spine, seeking tallness. So a slight curve to the lumbar spine, a slight tilt forward of the pelvis is recommended. It's conventional. Allowing the awareness to climb up vertebra by vertebra as they stack out of the pelvis, climb up to our chest and to our neck. Allowing the shoulder blades to descend down the back, perhaps to come closer together on the back. Allowing the fronts of the shoulders to open, allowing the top of the chest to really shine upward and outward. Now checking for a moment, did that action of bringing the chest forward and up bring a feeling of compression into the spine? Can we maintain the curve of the spine without that exaggerated over-curving, crunchiness in the spine? Feeling balance and stability in the neck, playing with moving it forward and back, left to right. Perhaps allowing the chin to slightly tuck, bringing spaciousness to the occipital muscles, to the cervical spine, the top of the spine, to the back of the skull. I find this particular pose of the neck really opens up my throat and my sinuses as well. It's very easy, once I've found it, to know that I'm there. Now that we're in this moment, what can we do to release any extra holding in the neck or in any part of the body? There's obviously an amount of engagement that we need to maintain our sitting posture. And we really play with and explore where that line is, where that edge is. How little holding do we need? How much can we give over to gravity and to the structures of the skeleton to hold us here? Bringing that sense of gentle and kind relaxation to the jaw, the structures of the jaw and the muscles of the jaw. If you're comfortable with it, allowing there to be space between the upper and the lower teeth. Allowing the muscles of the face to relax. Muscles around the eyes themselves. Just submitting to the holding that the structure of the body was meant to do. Now that we've found ourselves seated, grounded, and at as much physical ease as we can give ourselves in this moment, bringing an intentional awareness to the breath, taking 3 deep breaths, perhaps the deepest breaths you've taken today. Inhaling fully, exhaling completely. On the inhale, feeling the chest and the abdomen expand in every direction, including up and down, feeling our spine get taller, feeling our head raise. And on the exhale, feeling all of that expanded energy recede in towards the spine. And after those 3 breaths, as we did with the body, relinquishing any control and effort that we possibly can back to the systems of the body that are so good at handling them. Choosing in this moment to allow the awareness to continue to reside in the space of the breath. And exploring anywhere in the body where the breath feels obvious and easy to observe. This could be in the chest, in the stomach, in the throat, in the nose or the face. Allowing our inquiry to deepen into this area, to the sensations of breathing in this area, in this moment. may be that you're finding your focus is easily moved away from the chosen point of focus of the embodiment of your breath by thoughts, phenomena of the thinking mind, knowing that we're really just settling into this practice, coming from that space of outward engagement, interaction with others and the world around us. Knowing that it's easy to be caught up in memories of that time or thoughts of what we will do after the sitting, the near term or the long term. Really accepting that. Making the choice to know that that's part of what's present for us in this moment. When we notice that mind has momentarily fluctuated away from our breathing, knowing that we're already back in the space of awareness. The act of accepting that our mind has wandered can give us the path back to the awareness of the breath. Making the choice to accept and allow the thoughts as and when they arise. And the choice to return to the breath again and again when we notice that our mind has moved away from just this breath coming in, just this breath going out. As we continue to sit here with our breath, and as we've sat for a little while now, it may be that sensations in the body, or sensations in the realm of hearing, fluctuations in these sensory realms may also, for a time, move our awareness away from our breathing. If any of these feelings are bordering on painful, then by all means, with care and with affection for yourself, a desire for you to not be harmed. Mindfully make adjustments. Really experience in this moment the changing of posture as you need in this moment, as you see fit in this time. But if it's within the realm of discomfort, or perhaps agitation, what would it be like to make the choice to sit with that as well? Perhaps in this time to make that a part of our practice. Opening our awareness of our breathing up to anywhere and everywhere that our breath is felt in our bodies, or that any sensation is felt in our bodies. Remembering, as I like to, that every cell of our body is breathing. It's through that breathing that we're allowed to feel and be and exist and live. So sensations in the body and sensations in the breath are really much closer, really part of the same grander field of experience than we may tell ourselves. And so for this time, continuing to sit with the breath, and everywhere the breath is felt, including in our chosen spot, anywhere that anything is felt. Just observing those things, drinking in the sensation, with compassion and acceptance, curiosity, and a light sense of inquiry. An open focus on anything that is felt by the body, or the breath, or the mind in this moment. We've now reached the point in our practice where we will continue to sit in relative silence, sitting with ourselves, directing our awareness to the world of sensations, observations of phenomena of the breath, the body, of sounds, and of the mind. All the while, being with all of those things, without judgment, merely observing their interplay, their connectedness, their, in a sense, non-difference or oneness. And at the end, I will ring the bell to signal the end of our time together. Bringing our awareness back to our breath and allowing it to deepen consciously. Allowing that intentional engagement to draw our awareness back into our bodies, back into the world of movement, world of engagement with the people and the things around us. Perhaps bringing movement to the body movement to the eyes, allowing them to gradually and softly open at their own pace. Bringing some movement in the body in a way that can express gratitude for the gift of getting to sit for this time. Perhaps if you're feeling soreness in the back or the legs or somewhere, bringing a stretch or a massage to that area for a brief moment. May we all, everyone on this earth, get to feel peace and safe, get to be physically at ease and healthy, get to be happy and joyful. May all of our actions in some way bring this about in ourselves and others. Namaste. Thank you, friends. May you have a great week. Take care.